Today, car buyers are shopping online, in-store, and everything in between. Retail 360, Cox Automotive's suite of connected end-to-end tools, empowers your dealership to deliver the seamless experience consumers want. Reach out to your rep to learn more.
Welcome to Daily Drive for Friday, August 8th, 2025. I'm Kellen Walker in Las Vegas, joined by a special guest co-host for today's podcast.
I'm Michelle Krebs in Detroit.
Today on the show, Ford delays its electric pickup again. GM will reportedly import EV batteries from China's CATL, and Car Gurus is winding down its car offer platform after less than 2 years. Plus, Charisma Communications has a new study that shows a disconnect between what service drives want from AI and what it actually does. Owner Lori Halter joins the show to talk about it.
It's not necessarily put AI in and you'll get more technicians through your door. It's how can we use the technicians you currently have at a better, more efficient rate.
Let's run through all the news you need to know to keep up in the auto industry.
Ford is once again delaying 2 of its next-generation electric vehicles. That as it continues to pivot towards smaller, more affordable offerings. Over the past few months, Ford has informed suppliers that a full-size EV pickup set to go in its Blue Oval City assembly plant in Tennessee has been delayed from 2027 to mid-2028. That's according to 3 people familiar with the plans who spoke with Automotive News. Separately, the sources say an electric van, expected to be a next-generation e-Transit, has also been delayed until mid-2028. That model was originally slated for 2026 production at Ohio Assembly.
General Motors plans to import electric vehicle batteries from Chinese battery giant CATL. That's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, as well as a source familiar with the matter who spoke with Reuters. The person said the arrangement is a stopgap for GM in the next couple of years as it works to build its own lower-cost batteries made with lithium iron phosphate chemistry. CATL didn't immediately respond to a request for comment.
And Car Gurus says it will wind down operations of Car Offer. The announcement comes less than 2 years after Car Gurus fully acquired the wholesale digital marketplace platform. CEO Jason Trevisan said that the company began to assess strategic alternatives for Car Offer in the previous quarter. He said market volatility left the company with no alternative other than to wind it down.
And those are today's headlines. You can find more details on all those stories at autonews.com. Before we talk more about Ford's decision to delay its full-size electric pickup, Michelle, it's nice to have you here on Daily Drive.
Thank you, Cal. It's great to be here.
So many of our listeners will remember you as Cox Automotive's executive analyst, as well as your time reporting for the New York Times and here at Automotive News. Fill our audience in on what you've been up to lately.
Well, I retired a year ago from Cox Automotive, so I have been having a good time and frankly not focusing real closely on the auto industry.
So you've just been focused on retirement, which I feel like is a great focus to have.
It is. I've been doing things that I put off doing and having some fun.
That's perfect. Joining us now to talk about our top story is Michael Martinez, who broke the news for us at autonews.com. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mike, why is Ford once again delaying its full-size electric pickup at Blue Oval City?
Well, as you know, as we've talked about many times on this show, the market continues to evolve, and it's not quite what Ford or the other companies expected in terms of demand for EVs. So Ford originally expected that by about now, it would be rolling out some next generation EVs of the larger variety, a 3-row crossover, this truck, and a large van. But people don't really want electric vehicles. And more importantly, Ford can't make money at those price points for those type of vehicles. So it's pushing back production again from 2027 to 2028. It's also moving production of a van from 26 to 28. And instead of those kind of products, it's focusing on smaller EVs that we're going to learn more about on August 11th.
Mike, Ford's mantra in recent years has been T3, trust the truck. Do they risk losing that trust with these delays and the overall state of electrification in 2025?
I think that's to be determined, especially if they push back production again, because they've pushed back production about 3 times now on that particular product. I think they believe, at least, that the fundamentals are still there for some of these products, including the truck, in particular if it's a commercial product. We don't know the specifics yet of how that's going to break down, but CEO Jim Farley says he still sees a lucrative business case for commercial EVs, that fleet owners, business owners are much more liable to purchase an electric van, electric pickup than a regular customer. So, yeah, trust the truck. You do have to put a lot of faith in Ford right now because that vehicle should have been out literally this year, literally by now. And now we have to at least wait 3 more years.
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up, Charisma Communications owner Lori Halter joins the show to talk about what dealers want from AI in the service drive and how those expectations stack up against reality. That's next on Daily Drive.
Today's consumers are using multiple channels to buy cars, online, in-store, and everything in between. And dealerships need to deliver a consistent, connected car buying experience that keeps shoppers and dealers in sync across every channel and every stage of the purchase process. Retail 360, Cox Automotive's suite of connected end-to-end tools empowers your dealership to deliver the seamless experience consumers want. With industry-leading solutions and consumer sites, Cox Automotive connects and enables shopping and buying across all channels. Consider a typical buying process. A consumer might shop for cars on AutoTrader or on a dealership's dealer.com website. At the same time, they might research the value of their trade-in on Kelley Blue Book. Whatever they're doing, your sales team will see that they're actively in market through VIN Solutions. When they arrive in your showroom, you can use DealerTrack to build a deal and secure financing options. vAuto will help you price their trade-in correctly, and after they drive off the lot, you can use Xtime to keep them coming back as a lifelong service customer. Along the way, you'll get the industry's most powerful predictive insights that aggregate data from 7 out of 10 in-market shoppers and AI-led automation that puts repetitive tasks on cruise control. Reach out to your Cox Automotive rep today to learn how you can meet today's high consumer expectations to deliver a more satisfying car buying experience with Retail 360.
Welcome back to Daily Drive. I'm Kellen Walker with Michelle Krebs. Auto dealerships are slowly introducing artificial intelligence, mostly in business development centers. But more and more service department leaders are interested in exploring how AI might benefit their operations. Lori Halter is the owner of Charisma Communications. She spoke with Automotive News senior retail editor Dan Shine about the firm's recent AI in the Service Drive report on how the technology can improve fixed ops.
Lori, thanks so much for joining me on the Fixed Ops Friday edition of Daily Drive.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So usually I've had scores of your clients in the past, and now for the first time, I pull back the curtain and there's the wizard herself right there. So
wizard of what remains to be seen.
Right. So I know people are familiar with your work at Charisma Communications, marketing, PR, media relations, but you've kind of gone into kind of a new kind of stream here a little bit that you've added to your portfolio of services. That's kind of industry insights reports. Tell me a little bit how that kind of came about.
Yeah. So it's Charisma Insights, and it's deep dive industry research on trends. We really had been talking about it last year after the CDK breach. We realized there's really no kind of deep dive research that's going on right now on cybersecurity in automotive. So that became our first report last fall. And our newest one is based on AI in the service drive. And it really comes from trends we're hearing about in the space, from dealers, vendors, investors, the things they're most interested in. And, I've had a couple people say, well, wait a minute, you're a PR firm. Is this just your clients? And I always am sure to explain that it's an independent arm of our company and it's independent researchers. So the important thing about any research we put out is no one's paid for anything. It comes with a vendor guide, this newest one, and it's all independently researched and not funded by anyone other than Charisma.
So what are some of the high level highlights you would say from this report? It's, when you talk about artificial intelligence and fixed ops, That's a lot of stuff right there.
Yeah,
That's
it
heavy.
is. It is. Really, I think you can break it down probably into 3 or 4 different areas. One is, where are we in the current space with fixed ops and AI? Where are we? Where is it really helping? I think also it's very interesting. Dealers and vendors have very different ideas of what AI is needed and where in the dealership space. So that was really interesting. Third is kind of, where are we going, and where is AI going in the space? And then the fourth, and I think one of the most valuable, is our researchers put together an AI vendor guide. And it's got a lot of charts and graphs of, these are the vendors offering these AI solutions in the space. And it has like a little information about each vendor and charts and graphs for comparison.
One thing that I noticed in the report is AI, it can be very unwieldy and intimidating to a lot of folks.
Yes.
But there's kind of like this disconnect between maybe what fixed ops directors are wanting maybe from AI and what AI actually is or producing.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was probably one of the most interesting things that came out of the research is, 2/3 of the dealers we spoke with said they're completely overwhelmed by AI. They know they need it, but they don't know what it does or where it's needed. And so I think what we're finding is vendors are creating solutions for AI, but the dealers are saying, wait, hold up. Where is it needed? How can we implement it? It's almost like the challenges they want vendors to work with them on the challenges they're facing within their dealership and to create AI around those challenges. Vendors are putting solutions together, which is great. But the dealers we spoke with said, look, we really want collaborative partners here that can go through, we can show them the challenges and bottlenecks, and they can figure out how to use AI to solve those.
When you talk about vendors and AI, what are the needs that dealership, again, service managers, fixed ops directors are wanting from AI? What are they looking for help from?
I was surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot of like profit-based and ROI-based results. Actually, the ones we talked to said, no, we want an increase in customer satisfaction. So get people through sooner, have easier scheduling tools, get the technicians turn more quickly with their jobs so we can get more people in the bays. So really, from the dealer side, they're very concerned about the customer experience and how can we use AI to create a better experience for the people coming through their doors.
One of the ongoing issues in fixed ops is technician shortage, not enough wrench turners in the bays.
Yep.
Can AI help with this?
Yeah, so we're looking at a 600,000 technician shortfall. Did you know this, Dan?
Just a few people.
Just a few. So just a few people that aren't in the base. What we really found in the report is AI can help with the throughput. So AI is not necessarily going to get us more technicians in the field. It might with some recruiting tools, but where AI really helps is creating, let's say, like AI diagnostic tools can help some of the less experienced technicians who are working more easily find the problem. Predictive maintenance tools can make sure you have the parts in. So when the people come in, you have the part to fix it and you're not sending them back. And then the scheduling tools can help get people into your bays in and out faster. So it's not necessarily put AI in and you'll get more technicians through your door. It's how can we use the technicians you currently have at a better, more, efficient rate.
Got it. And AI is, like I mentioned kind of earlier, it seems intimidating. People don't know even where to start.
Yeah.
They know that their friend at the next, store down the road has it, or they might be in a 20 group and the people are talking about it and they're kind of, I got to be a part of this too. I got to be in it. Or else I'm, missing the bus. But where to start? If I'm a fixed ops director and I know I need to be in this somehow, what's the easiest entry point for me?
Yeah, we found the biggest entry point was texting. So text-based AI solutions. So for instance, outbound communication saying it's time to bring your vehicle in for service, and that inbound then scheduling into the service appointment. So if you're a fixed ops director, you need to get an AI, you're not sure where to begin, find a texting solution tool for AI. That at least will take some of the onus off of your service drive advisors to schedule and get people into the dealership.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to polish up the Charisma Communications crystal ball that you have there and talk about AI in the future and in service. Where does this tool go in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, what's really exciting is when you start thinking about predictive analytics, and that's where I think we're going in the next couple of years. So what does this mean? This means you use AI in fixed ops to reach out to the customer. You already know that, let's say if they have a Honda Civic, the brakes go out at XXX miles 90% of the time. So you reach out proactively to the customer, say, you're going to need new brakes in the next 5,000 miles. Come on in. In addition, you have predictive parts scheduling. So you have the correct brakes to know when those people are coming in. And then you're also doing your proactive communication out to those customers saying, we know for a fact that at this point in time, your brakes are going to go out in the next 2 months. Come on in to see us. So the really exciting thing about AI is when you start thinking about how predictively they can help just streamline the entire process and create a much better customer experience as we move forward.
So I have my copy, but if people out there listening want to know where they can read more about this, where can they go?
Yeah, I should mention it's absolutely free, as is the vendor guide. And you can go to charismacommunications.com, and there's an AI in the Service Drive tab that if you click on that, you can download your free copy there.
Good stuff. Lori Halter, thanks so much.
Thanks, Dan.
That's Daily Drive for today. I'm Michelle Krebs.
And I'm Kellen Walker. Thanks to Automotive News executive producer Jake Neer, as well as our own Michael Martinez and Mark Homer for their reporting for today's podcast. You can get the latest news on service and parts, manufacturing, and everything happening in the auto industry at autonews.com.
Come back over the weekend for our Weekend Drive edition of the show. We'll talk about how EV startups are faring as President Donald Trump targets electrification and environmental regulations, as well as Amazon Auto's new venture into used vehicles.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show and the topics we covered today. Send us an email at dailydrive@autonews.com or leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2774. And if you enjoy the podcast, remember to leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.